Hi, it's Nicole, and I just filmed a really rambly video for my 2020 wrap-up and 2021 goals that I want to not be super rambly and not be really difficult for me to edit, so I'm going to film it again. So, in 2020, I had some very simple goals. I wanted to read 50% women/non-binary people, 50% BAME authors, 5 books in French, 5 books from the LGBTQ plus community. And then later in the year, I added that I wanted to do a TBR elimination kind of thing. Actually, I don't think it was that late in the year. It might have been about springtime. I decided I wanted to do a TBR elimination. How did I go? I read 58% women and non-binary people. I read 71% BAME authors. BAME being the UK equivalent to the US's POC. I read 4 books in French. I feel like I probably could have fit in a 5th, but didn't. And I read 5 books by people from the LGBTQ plus community. As for my TBR elimination goals, I read, I think, 6 or 7 books from my TBR, and then I bought some books, and then I donated some books that I decided I didn't even want to read from my shelves anymore, and whatever, here we are. And now I think I started at 50 books, and now I think I'm somewhere around 47, maybe 45 when all of that's worked out. For 2021, I'm more or less going to be keeping those baseline goals, and then I'm also going to be adding 2 more things. So what I'm going to be aiming for then is 50% women/non-binary, etc., 50% BAME authors, 5 books in French, and then I am losing the number on LGBTQ plus community books, but I'm still wanting to focus on reading just more from that community. I don't know, I got a little bit uncomfortable with having a specific number there because I wasn't sure what exactly to have that number be and stuff, and 5 was just my initial entry point of I definitely don't read even this amount of books from that community. Here's 5. Seems like a nice low attainable goal, and now I've done that, so now I just need to read more. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to put in there as a number. It's just a general focus. Then, for my TBR, I want to read more from my TBR. I don't have a specific number of books that I want it down by. I just want it down, So I might try that thing. So in the past, I've tried the thing of read 5 before buying 1. That's not going to work. I tried it. It's not going to work for me. But if I can just buy fewer books than I read, that's great. That's super achievable to me because that's practically what I do anyway. So at least the TBR is not going to be increasing, and there's a chance that it will decrease, So then the 2 goals that I will be adding are invisible cities. This is tricky, I think, for me because I'm really excited about the project, and I feel like the actual reading of translated literature is not the challenge to me. I don't see a delineation between Anglophone books and non-Anglophone books that are translated. It's just all literature. I'm not intimidated by translated books or anything like that. I think it's all great, and I quite easily read whatever anyway. But the difficulty for me is that I'm a slow reader, and I'm essentially taking on quite a lot of books that I want to read per month. And if I'm wanting to decrease my TBR, but I'm also wanting to read more translated works, my TBR is largely lots of books that I owned from years ago that I'm still interested in, but they came into my life before I was thinking a lot about what I was picking up, in terms of demographics or, all that kind of thing. So it means that there's not a lot of diversity of language, identity, etc. on my shelves, and the shelves are small anyway. So anyway, the point is I'm going to be having to buy more books, or it would be great if I could use my library more for this, but I don't think my library has the kind of variety that would be needed. The selection is very small, so I'm very likely going to be buying books. So there's some uncomfortableness with my goals and stuff around that, but it's fine, I'll work it out. And since I'm already talking about invisible cities, I'll just say that my goal specifically in that whole thing is I want to read at least 1 book from at least one of the countries. That's my baseline. My baseline is not to read one book from each of the 3 countries because I feel like that is too ambitious for me. And I want to watch at least one movie from each of the 3 countries. So that's 1 book, 3 movies. Cool. If I do more, and I plan to try to do more, then that would be fantastic. But I don't want to pressure myself to have that slightly bigger goal be my minimum, you know? And then the final thing is my involvement in Stephanie's indie press project, which I have absolutely been loving, and I really like the discoveries that I've been making with some of these presses. And in general with my book buying, I am prioritizing buying secondhand anyway, because that's just always my thing, buying local and buying indie, and I feel like that it can all work together, I think. So those are my goals. I personally feel like there's a lot of tension between some of those goals, which is interesting to me, but I'll have to kind of work something out there throughout the year and just like track how things are doing. One thing that has been phenomenal that I found out about just yesterday was Scribd. So I know I'm behind the time, like I live under a rock, etc. So yeah, I know. I've heard of Scribd, but I just didn't really know all the details about it. But anyway, Agnes and Natalie were chatting to me about that, and I decided to do the free trial thing on their recommendation, and it's a day in and I'm flippin' loving it. So I basically like went through the books on my physical TBR to find if they had an audiobook of those on Scribd. So then that means that while I'm actually doing my work and stuff, I can be listening to the books on my physical TBR, getting through that list. This is amazing. So hopefully that works out well for me. I'll be doing the free trial thingy for most of January, and if it does work out, which I think it will, it feels like it would, that's just amazing, and I can get rid of like loads of books from my shelves pretty easily that way, because in general I don't tend to keep books after I read them. A lot of the time I'll donate them unless I really loved them, or they're beautiful, or they're, you know, good reference books or whatever. There's a whole little criteria for why I would keep a book, but a lot of the time after I've read a book, even if I really like it, I'll donate it because I don't need to keep it. I don't tend to reread a lot. So those are my goals. That's how I've done in 2020. That's what I'm planning for 2021. I think that's all I need to say. So I'm going to wrap this up here so I don't have to do loads and loads of editing, and you don't have to do loads and loads of listening to me prattling on about my plans and stuff that hasn't even happened yet. So I hope you have a fantastic day and that you are getting on with your 2021 plans or non-plans. I know some people don't like having plans and stuff like that. I am very goal-oriented, and I absolutely love having that kind of semi-structure there, but nothing too restrictive. You let me know how you feel about goals and things like that. How did you do for 2020? How do you feel about 2021 plans? Tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!